I wiped the sweat off my forehead and looked at the half-built walls. 1 more week, I whispered to myself. Just 1 more week, and it'll be done. Talking to the walls again? Maya laughed from behind me. Her voice always made me smile. She walked toward me, holding a bottle of water. I chuckled. If these walls could talk, they'd thank me for working overtime. She handed me the bottle. You don't have to kill yourself for this house, you know. I took a long sip and smiled at her. I'm not killing myself. I'm building our dream. For us, she sighed, brushing a strand of hair from her face. You always say that, and I mean it every time. I grabbed her hand and looked around at the structure. Look at it, Maya. Our kitchen here. Your reading nook by that window. The garden you wanted in the back. This place is everything we talked about. She looked away for a moment. Yeah, it's perfect. I caught the hesitation in her voice. You don't sound excited? No, I am, she said quickly. It's just, I don't know. It's a lot. You work so much. I barely see you anymore. I laughed softly. That's the price of dreams, love. I'll make it up to you when this place is done. She smiled faintly. You promise? I always keep my promises. Just then, Ethan's car pulled up. He stepped out, waving. Hey, builder man. Still torturing yourself out here? I grinned. Someone has to make sure my wife's Pinterest board becomes real life. Ethan smirked and fist-bumped me. Man, you're too much. Maya, you sure he's not a machine? She laughed, the kind of laugh that used to melt me. I tell him that every day. I noticed the way she looked at him just a second longer than usual, but I brushed it off. Ethan was family. My cousin, my closest friend. He pointed toward the house. You've really done it, bro. This place looks amazing. You're making the rest of us look lazy. Hard work pays off, I said proudly. When Maya and I move in, you'll see. It'll all be worth it. He nodded, hands in his pockets. Can't wait to see it finished. You need me to help with anything? I shook my head. Nah, man. You've already done enough helping her with design stuff. I got this. Maya smiled. Ethan's been a lifesaver, honestly. I'd be lost with all the interior planning. I laughed. I know you too, and your color palettes. Ethan chuckled. Hey, someone's got to make sure it doesn't end up looking like a garage. Ha, I replied, pretending to glare. Don't insult my craftsmanship. He clapped me on the back. I'm kidding. You're killing it, man. Maya looked between us. You two sound like an old married couple. We all laughed. But something about her tone lingered in my mind. I told myself it was nothing. Ethan left after a while. And Maya and I sat on the unfinished porch, watching the sunset over the hills. The air smelled like wet cement and fresh hope. She leaned her head on my shoulder. Do you ever get scared? Of what? That all this effort might not be enough. I turned to her. Enough for what? For happiness? She whispered. Her words cut deeper than she probably intended. I hesitated, then said quietly, Maya, I'm doing all this for our happiness. I know, she said softly. It's just I miss you. I took her hand. You'll have me back soon. Every nail I hammer is one day closer to that. She looked at me, eyes glistening. You're too good to me. Stay good to me, I said half-jokingly, trying to lighten the air. She smiled faintly. Always. I believed her. That night, after dropping her home, I stayed behind to finish a few more boards. The stars were out, quiet and endless. I stood in the middle of the empty rooms, imagining our future, her laughter in the kitchen, our photos on the walls, our children running across the floors. I smiled. This is it, I murmured. Our forever. The wind moved through the window frames, almost like a whisper. For a second, I thought I heard something else in that sound, something uncertain, but I brushed it away. I picked up my tools again, heart full of love, faith, and blind certainty. I didn't know then that while I built a home, something inside it was already breaking. I noticed it first in her eyes. They didn't light up anymore when I came home. Rough day. I asked one night, setting my bag down. She didn't look up from her phone, just tired. I sat beside her. Want to talk about it? There's nothing to talk about, really, she said quickly, locking the screen. The room felt smaller than usual. You've been on that phone a lot lately. She shot me a sharp look. Are you checking on me now? No, I said, caught off guard. I was just asking. Her voice softened. Sorry, I'm just stressed. I forced a smile.
It's okay.
Everyone gets tired. But her words stayed in my head long after she went to bed. The next day I called Ethan during lunch. He didn't answer. We usually talked every couple of days about the house, about life. When he didn't call back, I texted, "You alive, man?" No reply. That evening, I asked Maya, "Heard from Ethan lately?" She paused mid-bite. Yeah, he's busy with work, I think. Too busy to reply to me? I laughed lightly, trying to sound casual. She shrugged. You know how he is. Always running around. Her tone was calm, too calm. A few nights later, I came home early. The living room lights were dim. Maya was on the couch, phone to her ear. Yeah, okay, tomorrow then, she said quietly. I stepped in. Who is that? She jumped. Oh, just a friend. Which friend? You don't know her, she replied quickly. I studied her face, the small flicker in her expression. You sure? She crossed her arms. Why are you interrogating me? I'm not, I said gently. I just asked. Well, stop asking, she snapped, and walked off to the bedroom. The sound of the door closing hit me harder than I wanted to admit. Days passed. The house felt colder. She smiled less. She stayed out late more. When I tried to hold her one night, she stiffened. Maya, I whispered, what's wrong? Nothing. Then why do you feel miles away? She sighed, pulling out of my arms. You're imagining things, am I? You've been paranoid lately, she said, her tone half pity, half irritation. I stared at her. Because I care? Because I notice you don't look at me the same. She turned her back. I can't do this right now. I swallowed the anger rising in my chest. You won't do this right now, she walked out. The door shut again. That sound had become routine. At work, I tried to bury myself in blueprints and calls. Nora noticed anyway. You look like you haven't slept, she said, setting coffee on my desk. I smiled weakly. I'm fine. You're lying, she said flatly. I chuckled. You always were bad at small talk, she folded her arms. You used to talk about Maya every day. Now you don't even say her name unless it hurts. Her words cut through me. Marriage isn't always easy. True, she said quietly, but it shouldn't feel like punishment either. I looked away. You sound like my conscience. Someone has to be. I forced a grin. You worry too much, she sighed. You ignore too much. Her words followed me home that night. Maya wasn't there when I arrived. Midnight came and went. When she finally walked in, I asked, Where were you? At a friend's, she said. Which one? God, do we have to do this every time? She snapped, tossing her purse down. I just want to know where my wife is. Well, your wife needed space. Space from what? From this. From feeling like I'm under a microscope. I stared at her, stunned. Maya, I've done nothing but work and build for us. For you? She looked away, voice trembling. Maybe that's the problem. What's that supposed to mean? You're always working. You're never here. The house is all you care about anymore. That house is our future, I said, voice breaking. Every brick, every nail, it's for us. She shook her head. Maybe I didn't ask for all that. I took a step closer. Then what did you ask for, Maya? Her eyes filled with something I couldn't name. I don't know anymore. I stood there, speechless. That night I couldn't sleep. The silence in our bedroom was heavier than any sound. I reached out to touch her hand, but she turned away. The space between us felt colder than winter air. I stared at the ceiling, wondering when warmth became distance. For the first time, I asked myself if love could die quietly, without screaming, without breaking, just fade, like the echo of something beautiful that once was. And when she shifted farther away, I felt it, the first fracture. the beginning of something I didn't want to name. "Maya, you're late again," I said the moment she stepped through the door. She glanced at me, tired but smiling. "Work ran over. I had to finish the report." "That's the third night this week," I said, trying to keep my voice calm. "Are you sure it's just work?" She frowned. "Are you accusing me of something?" "No," I said quickly. I worry." She crossed her arms. "Worrying doesn't mean controlling. You're making it sound like I did something wrong." I hesitated. "I'm not. What?" She pressed, stepping closer. "You just think I'm lying?" "I didn't say that," I whispered. Her voice softened, almost sweetly. "Then trust me, okay?" I nodded, but my stomach twisted. Later that night, I tried calling Ethan. No answer. Texts ignored. I muttered to myself, "What is going on with everyone?" The next day, Nora noticed my slump. "You look like death warmed over," she said, sliding a coffee across the desk. I forced a grin. "Thanks, just tired, I guess." "Bullshit," she said. "You're distracted. You're not yourself." "I'm fine," I said, though my voice cracked. "You're lying to yourself," she said sharply. "And maybe to her too." I shook my head. "What do you mean?" "You know exactly what I mean," she said, leaning closer. "You're seeing cracks, but you're pretending it's normal. I've known you since college. This isn't normal." "I don't want to believe it," I said quietly. "Then you're living a lie," she said, voice firm. That night, Maya came home late again. "Where were you?" I asked, trying not to sound angry. "Out with some colleagues." Networking until midnight." She sighed. "I'm sorry. I can't help the hours." It's hard not to notice a pattern," I said. "I worry, Maya. I worry that something's changing between us." She rolled her eyes. "You always worry. Can't you just relax for once?" "I am trying," I whispered. "But it feels like you're slipping away." "I'm not slipping," she said sharply. "You're imagining things. You need to stop reading too much into nothing." "I'm not imagining," I said, voice rising. "I feel it. I feel you're different." She turned her back. "Then maybe I can't help your feelings. Maybe you're just too controlling." The word hit me like a brick. "Controlling," I repeated. "I'm not controlling. I'm scared. I'm scared of losing you." Her shoulders tensed. "Maybe you already are." I didn't sleep. Not 1 hour. I stared at the ceiling, running scenarios over and over. What if she was lying? What if Ethan had changed? What if I was blind? I tried calling Ethan again. Still nothing. By the weekend, my thoughts had spiraled. I sat in the living room, staring at the half-finished house. "Maya." I called softly when she came home. "Do you love me?" She stopped, hand on the doorknob. "Why are you asking me that now?" "Because I feel like I'm losing you," I said, voice breaking. She shook her head. "You're overthinking everything." "I told you I'm busy, okay?" I walked closer. "Busy with what?" "With work? With someone else?" Her eyes narrowed. "How dare you? I didn't mean it like that." I said quickly. I don't know what's happening anymore. I don't know who I can trust." She stepped back. "Then maybe you should stop asking." Days passed. I caught myself checking her phone when she left it unattended. I hated myself for it, Nora noticed. "Stop torturing yourself," she said. "I can't," I whispered. "I feel like everything is slipping. I'm losing her and I don't even know why." "You're losing her because you're blind," she said. "Open your eyes before it's too late." I'm trying," I said, but even I knew it wasn't enough. At night, I lay awake, heart racing, mind screaming. Every laugh, every word, every touch, I questioned them all. And yet, every morning, I smiled, kissed her, told myself I was imagining things. I was living a lie. I decided to leave work early that Thursday. Maya should be home soon, I muttered. Gripping my bag tighter than necessary, I drove faster than I usually would, telling myself it was just excitement. When I pulled into the driveway, the house smelled different. Perfume hers mixed with another scent I couldn't recognize. My stomach dropped. I stepped inside quietly, Ethan. You won't believe this, her voice. My heart froze mid-beat. I heard laughter. Not her usual laugh. A deeper one. Ethan. I didn't move at first. My legs obeyed slowly like they weren't mine, and I told him no way. Are you serious? Absolutely, Ethan's voice said. Rougher than I remembered, I turned the corner and there they were, Maya pressed against him. His shirt undone, chest bare. She gasped, seeing me. Maya. My voice caught, barely a whisper. He froze. I raised my hand, but no words came out. My hands shook. You? What is this? I croaked. Her eyes were wide, tears already forming. It's not what it looks like. I laughed, a hollow, broken sound. Not what it looks like. Ethan stepped forward. It's complicated. Complicated? I shouted. We built a life together. I trusted you both. Maya stepped back, hands trembling. I didn't mean you didn't mean. My throat was tight. I worked every day to build this house, our home, and both of you betrayed me. Ethan's voice faltered. I'm sorry. I didn't stop. I screamed. Don't talk to me. Don't you dare apologize. Just leave me alone. She tried to reach for my arm. Please, I can explain. Explain. I pushed her hand away. There's nothing to explain. Everything is gone. The sound of her sobs filled the room. His silence was louder than words. I couldn't think. My mind scrambled. I felt sick, cold, and burning all at once. I wanted to yell, to break something, to hurt. But my body moved without permission. I turned, walked out. I need space, I whispered. Her voice called after me, shaky. Please don't go. I didn't look back. Outside, I stood in the driveway, car door open, hands gripping the wheel. My chest ached, my vision blurred. Why? I asked myself over and over. Why them? Why now? I thought of the mornings I woke early, the nights I worked late, the dreams I poured into this house. All of it gone. Why? I whispered again, voice barely audible. No answer came. Only the wind moving through the trees. And the faint echo of her laughter that wasn't mine anymore. I tried to breathe. My hand shook violently as I gripped the steering wheel. Ethan, I muttered, venom and disbelief tangled together. How could you? I didn't wait for an answer. I drove off without a word, leaving the house behind. The place I had imagined our life in, the home I had built with sweat and hope. Everything collapsed in a second. Every memory, every promise, like shattered glass under my hands. When I finally pulled over, the world felt distant. I wasn't crying. Not yet. I was numb, empty. I pressed my forehead against the steering wheel. The smell of perfume lingered in my nose. His scent, her voice, their laughter all burned into my senses. I wanted to scream, to break something, to make them feel a fraction of what I felt, but I didn't move. I just sat there, shaking, heart pounding, unable to believe that this was my life now. And as the sun dipped behind the horizon, I realized something terrifying. The life I thought I knew was gone. I had walked into my home that day thinking I'd see love and warmth. Instead, I found betrayal, and nothing would ever feel the same again. I didn't eat for 2 days. You need to eat, Nora said. Placing a plate in front of me. I'm not hungry, I muttered, staring at the food. You look hungry? She said sharply. Your face is pale. You're scaring me. I'm fine, I whispered, though my hands shook. You're not fine, she said, arms crossed. You can't keep doing this to yourself. I can, I said quietly. I don't want to deal with it. Deal with what? What's left to deal with? I looked down, avoiding her eyes. Everything. The house, Maya. Ethan. All of it. I don't know what to do anymore. You're punishing yourself, she said softly. For what? For trusting. I closed my eyes. For being a fool. For believing in them. For thinking love was enough. Nora shook her head. It's not your fault. It feels like it, I whispered. Every memory, every laugh, I replay it over and over, wondering where it all went wrong. You can't live in that, she said firmly. You'll destroy yourself if you do. I don't know how not to, I admitted. I wake up. I see the house. I see their faces everywhere. I can't escape it. Then don't, she said quietly. Face it, but not like this isolated broken. Let someone help. Broken, I said bitterly. Do you know what it feels like to trust someone completely and have them rip it away? I can imagine, she said softly. But you can heal. You can still breathe. I laughed hollow. Breathe. Everything feels poisoned. The air feels heavy, like I'm carrying their betrayal in my lungs. Nora put a hand on my shoulder. Then start by taking one breath at a time. You don't have to do it all today. I don't know if I can, I whispered. I wanted a life with her. I worked for it. And now it's gone. Ethan's gone. Maya keeps calling. I ignore her. But the pain, it doesn't leave. You're surviving, she said, even if it doesn't feel like it. And surviving is the first step toward rising. I looked at her, the fire in her eyes cutting through my haze. You really believe I can get through this? I know you can, she said. You're stronger than you think. But you have to stop hiding. I don't even know who I am anymore, I admitted. All I know is betrayal, loss, emptiness. You're still you, she said firmly. But this is the part of you that's being tested. And tests don't last forever. I shook my head. I feel like I'm drowning. I keep reaching for air, and there's nothing but memories. Then grab my hand, she said. Let me pull you up. I hesitated, voice cracking. I don't deserve it. You deserve to live, she said. You deserve peace. You deserve to rise. I swallowed hard, the weight of her words sinking in. My chest ached, but somewhere deep down, a spark flickered. Maybe I can try. I whispered, yes, she said, smiling faintly. One step. One day. That's all it takes. I stared at the empty room, the half-finished house outside the window, the world that felt alien and cold. You can't stay like this forever, she said softly. Pain is temporary. Strength lasts. I'll try, I said, my voice low, but steady. You will, she said. I'll make sure you do. I nodded, finally taking a small sip of water. It tasted bitter, but it tasted like life. For the first time in weeks, I didn't feel completely hollow. Somewhere inside, beneath the anger, the hurt, the betrayal, something else stirred. A will. A fire. A tiny ember that refused to die. I can't let them win, I murmured. You won't, Nora said. Because you're already rising, even if you don't see it yet. I closed my eyes, letting the silence of the night wash over me. The pain was still there. The loss still raw. But for the first time, I felt the faintest pulse of hope. A promise that maybe, just maybe, I could breathe again. And that ember inside me began to grow. I slammed my fist on the table. No more excuses, I muttered. Nora raised an eyebrow. You're talking to yourself again? I shook my head. I'm talking to the part of me that wants to stay broken. I'm done with that guy. She leaned back, skeptical. And you think it's that simple? I have to try, I said. I can't sit here anymore letting them control my life. Every day I stay stagnant, they win. Win. She repeated, yes, I snapped, voice low but fierce. Maya, Ethan, they think they ruined me. They think I'll crumble forever. But I won't. I can't. Nora studied me silently. Then she nodded. Okay, I like the fire. Don't lose it. I won't, I said, grabbing my laptop. First step, rebuild. What do you mean? I'm starting my own business, I said, determination in every word. Contracting. I've learned enough to make it happen. You're serious? She asked, eyebrows high. As serious as a heart attack? I said with a grim smile. I have the skills. I have the drive. And I have nothing left to lose. She smiled faintly. Then go. Build. Make them regret thinking you'd stay down. I nodded, feeling the adrenaline kick in. Exactly. Every project, every client, every success, it's my way of taking back control. Weeks passed. I walked into a construction site, hard hat on, checking measurements. A worker called boss. The foundation's ready. I clapped my hands. Good. Let's make this perfect. No corners, no mistakes. Later, Nora called. Maya's been blowing up your phone again, she said, voice careful. I didn't answer immediately. Ignore her, I said finally. I'm busy. I don't need apologies. I don't need excuses. You really think you could just block her out? Yes, I said. Every call, every text, I let them all go, unanswered. I'm done letting them have power over me. Another week, and I got the first big client. You're hiring me? I asked, disbelief in my voice. Yes, the man said. I need someone who works as hard as they talk. You come recommended. I nodded, feeling a surge. I'll make sure you're satisfied. Good, he said. I expect perfection. I deliver perfection, I said quietly to myself, almost smiling. That night, Maya called again. I just want to talk. Her voice trembled. I'm sorry. Please, can we meet? I hung up without a word. My hand shook, but I didn't hesitate. Nora glanced at me. You're cold. I'm protecting myself, I said. I can't let her back in. Not yet. Not ever, maybe. She nodded. Good. Don't let the past control you. Days turned into weeks. Each success, each client satisfied, each project completed. It felt like stacking bricks, not for them, but for me. I can't believe how far I've come, I said one morning. Surveying a finished house I'd designed from start to finish. You've earned it, Nora said, smiling. All the late nights, the hard work, it's paying off. I never thought I'd feel proud again, I admitted. But this is mine, not theirs. Mine. You're stronger than you think, she said softly. I nodded, feeling something I hadn't felt in months. Control, power, a spark inside me that had survived every betrayal, every heartbreak. Maya called again. I stared at the phone, thumb hovering. Then I set it down. Nora smiled knowingly. You finally realized something, didn't you? Yes, I said quietly. I don't need her. I don't need Ethan. I need me. And I'm not stopping. She raised her coffee cup. To the fire inside? I smiled faintly. To the fire inside? And for the first time in what felt like forever, I wasn't afraid of tomorrow. I had been broken, betrayed, hollow. But now, that fire inside me, my will to rise, was burning hotter than ever, and I knew I would never let it die. I heard about Ethan first through Mark, a friend from the old neighborhood. Man, you won't believe it, Mark said over coffee. Ethan's company, it's gone. Bankrupt. I stirred my drink slowly. Gone? Yeah. He overextended. Clients left. Employees quit. Everything crashed. I nodded quietly. No anger, no satisfaction, just a hollow acknowledgement. Are you okay with this? Mark asked. I leaned back. I don't interfere. That's not my business. I just watch. Mark frowned. Watch. That sounds cold. Maybe, I said. But I've learned that karma doesn't need me. It works quietly on its own. A week later, another friend, Sarah, called. Did you hear about Maya? She asked. She left her job. She's struggling. Pressed my lips together. Really? Yeah, she said softly. She moved in with Ethan, trying to make it work, but debts, late rent, arguments, they're barely holding it together. I listened quietly. I see, I said. You don't sound happy, she said. I'm not happy, I admitted, but I'm not rubbing it in either. I just observe. I drove past the area where they lived once, out of habit. I didn't stop. I saw them through a cafe window, voices low, tense. Ethan, we can't keep doing this, Maya said. I know, he replied, rubbing his face. I didn't think it would be this bad. I should never have left, she whispered. I should never have, he began, but she cut him off. I know, she said quietly. We're paying for everything. I walked away slowly, letting the cold wind hit my face. Their lives were collapsing without my involvement. It wasn't joy. It wasn't revenge. It was peace. Later at work, Nora commented, "You seem calmer." I am, I said. Watching them, I don't feel triumph. I feel relief. I'm free of the weight of their betrayal. She tilted her head. Doesn't it sting at all? No, I said quietly. It hurts to know love can decay, even when it was real once. But I don't need to watch it burn. I just see the consequences. You sound almost serene, she said. Maybe I am, I admitted. The ashes of what was never mine, they don't touch me anymore. One evening, I ran into Mark again. Did you see them? He asked briefly. I said, they're still together, but they're drowning. It's slow, quiet, no screaming, no chaos. Just decay. Mark nodded. So you feel satisfied? I shook my head. Not satisfied. I feel closure. Watching karma work isn't about pleasure. It's about understanding balance. Life corrects itself without my hand. Poetic justice, huh? He said. Poetic, I agreed. But bittersweet. Love once shared, now just ashes. That night, I sat in the house I built, quiet. I whispered to myself, they wanted my happiness destroyed. They wanted me broken. But I survived. I built something new, something stronger. I lit a candle, staring at the flame. And now I just watch. I don't need to intervene. Karma whispers, not shouts. I thought about Maya, her voice, her laughter, how it once filled these walls. It's gone, I said quietly. All of it. And that's enough. No anger. No plotting. No satisfaction. Just the weight of what was lost and the peace of what remained. Nora peeked in. You're quiet tonight. I'm watching, I said. Watching life balance itself, and it's enough. She nodded, understanding. You've grown. I have, I said. I see it now. Karma doesn't need me to act. It works on its own, and maybe that's how I learned to let go. I smiled faintly. The candlelight flickering against the walls I built with hope. The past was gone. The betrayal, the heartbreak, it existed only as memory, and in its place. The rain hit the windows hard that night. There was a soft knock at the door. Maya, I called, voice cautious. She appeared in the doorway, soaked, hair plastered to her face, eyes wide and haunted. I need to talk, she whispered. I studied her, thinner, pale. The woman I once loved looked broken. Fragile. Please, she said, stepping forward. I know I don't deserve it, but I need you to hear me. Ethan, he betrayed me too. I didn't mean any of it, I swear. Please, can you forgive me? I closed the door behind her and gestured to the couch. Sit, I said softly. My voice sounded calm, but my chest tightened. She sank down, hugging herself, tears running down her cheeks. I was wrong. I hurt you in ways I can't take back. I see it now. Everything I did, it was foolish. I'm sorry. I leaned against the wall, arms crossed. You destroyed us. You destroyed everything I built for us. And now, I paused. Now, I just feel emptiness. Her shoulders shook. I understand. I don't expect you to feel anything for me anymore. I had to tell you the truth. I had to own up to it. You mean Ethan too? I asked. She nodded. Yes. I thought he cared, that he was different, but he wasn't. He left me with nothing. Just like I left you. I didn't say anything at first. I remembered the house, the walls I built with sweat and hope. The nights I stayed up, dreaming of a life with her. I built that house for us. I said quietly, but now it's my home alone. Her eyes widened, a flicker of hope and disbelief. So you're not angry? I shook my head slowly. I burned with it. For months. But anger doesn't help me anymore. Hatred only keeps me tied to the past. I never wanted to hurt you, she whispered. I know, I said, voice steady. But wanting isn't enough. Actions matter. And yours tore me apart. She covered her face with her hands. I can't undo it. I want you to know I regret it. Every day. Regret is yours to live with. Forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. I don't hate you, Maya. I don't. But I don't want you back. She looked up, eyes glistening. So this is it? Yes, I said. This is it. You face the truth, you own your mistakes, and I move forward. That's all. No anger, no screaming, just acceptance. She nodded slowly, tears falling freely now. I deserved this. I deserved your silence, your distance. I just hoped maybe one day don't, I said gently. Hope isn't mine to give. My life is my own now. I've built it back up, stronger than before. And you live with what you've done. She nodded again, quieter this time. I understand. I stood, feeling the calm settle in my chest. I won't forget what happened, I said. But I've learned not to let it define me. I've survived. I've grown. And that's enough. She whispered, I'm sorry. I know, I said. And now it's time for both of us to move on. You to your life, me to mine. She stood, hesitating at the door. Goodbye? I nodded. Goodbye. She stepped into the rain, disappearing into the night. I listened to the sound of water hitting the roof, letting it wash away the last fragments of the past. I walked back inside, looking around the house. My home. My life. My choices. I sat in the living room, breathing slowly. No anger, no bitterness. Just peace, and for the first time in years, I felt whole. The storm outside had passed, but inside me, a calm fire burned, one that betrayal could not touch, one that would never fade. I smiled faintly to myself. The past was gone, but the future, that was mine alone. My phone buzzed one morning. Ethan, I muttered, seeing the name on the screen. Nora glanced up. You're not going to answer that, are you? No, I said firmly. Not now. Not ever, maybe? But he's calling you, she pressed. Doesn't it matter what he says? I shook my head. It doesn't. His guilt is his problem. He can't fix the past. I won't let him drag me back into it. Hey. She nodded slowly, understanding. I like how calm you sound. You've changed. I've had to, I said, sipping my coffee. I couldn't stay broken forever. I had to rebuild. For me, weeks passed and Ethan called again. Same thing. Different day. I can't stop thinking about what I did. His voice trembled when I finally let him leave a voicemail. I didn't listen. I pressed delete. Silence felt better than any conversation I could have. Work was busy. My business had grown beyond what I imagined. Another client? Nora asked, glancing at the emails piling up. Yes, I said, leaning back in my chair. And another project starting next week? Things are looking good, she smiled. You've built something incredible. I'm proud of you. I chuckled faintly. I didn't just build a business. I built my life back. And stronger than before. You're thriving, she said softly. And they're not my concern, I said. Their failures are theirs. I don't need to watch them crumble anymore. I've moved past needing revenge. Nora tilted her head. So, this is victory? Yes, I said. Silent victory. No shouting, no plotting. Just surviving, growing. Living my life without them dictating my happiness. A client called. Can you handle this project? The man asked. I can, I said firmly. Nora and I have it covered. You'll be satisfied. Good. I want perfection, he said. Perfection is what we deliver, I said quietly to myself. That night, Nora and I stayed late in the office, she said, leaning back in her chair. Most people would want to get back at Ethan. Most would take satisfaction in seeing him fail. I shook my head. That's not real victory. Real victory isn't payback, it's peace. It's knowing I survived, that I grew stronger, that my life is mine. She smiled. And it is. You've earned it. I worked for it, I said quietly. Every late night, every project, every setback I overcame, it built me. Not just the business, but me. The me who isn't broken anymore. You've outgrown the past, she said softly. I have, I said. And the best part? I don't feel the need to prove anything to anyone. Not Ethan, not Maya, not even myself. You're free, she said. I am, I said. Finally, free. I looked around at the small team working quietly around me. Loyal people, focused, dependable. Team meeting in 10 minutes, I called. We need to discuss the new schedule. They nodded, and I felt a sense of calm wash over me. The house I built with my hands, the business I built with my mind, the life I rebuilt with my heart, it all felt right. No one was calling me names. No one was betraying me. No one was holding my happiness hostage. Just work, just growth, just life. And that, I realized, was victory. Not loud. Not boastful, silent, solid, unshakable. I whispered to myself, I didn't need revenge. I just needed peace. Nora glanced at me, raising her coffee cup. To peace, she said. I smiled faintly. To peace. And for the first time in years, I felt the kind of contentment that no betrayal could touch. No heartbreak could steal. I had one, silently, completely. I walked slowly through the hallway. Running my hand along the polished wooden railing, it looks amazing, Nora said. Falling into step beside me, I smiled faintly. It's finally done. Every brick, every beam, it's mine now. Really mine? You rebuilt more than walls, she said softly. You rebuilt yourself. I paused in the living room, letting my gaze sweep over the space. Sunlight poured through the windows, highlighting the clean lines and warm colors. I could almost hear echoes of the past laughter, arguments, broken dreams, but instead of pain, I felt pride. I never thought I'd walk through here without ghosts chasing me, I admitted. I thought this house would always remind me of betrayal, but it doesn't, she said. Not anymore. Look at it. Look at you. I ran my fingers over the mantel, remembering the nights I spent designing it, imagining a life with Maya. It's strange, I said. This room, these walls, they were built for love, and now they're built for me. Nora chuckled softly. And you're stronger because of it. I am, I whispered. I survived everything that tore me apart, and now this is my peace. We stepped into the kitchen where the sunlight danced across the countertops. You remember how long it took me to get the cabinets right? I asked, smiling faintly. You complained every day, Nora said, laughing. But you never gave up. Never, I said firmly. I didn't give up on the house, on myself, on life. We moved to the study, where I ran my hand over the desk I had built myself. This is where it started, I said quietly. Late nights, empty stomachs, thinking maybe I'd never feel whole again. You did, Nora said. You feel it now, don't you? Yes, I said. I feel complete. Not because anyone else made it happen, but because I did it for me. We stepped onto the porch. Rain had started again, soft and gentle, glistening on the wooden floorboards. I leaned against the railing. Can you believe it? I asked. This used to be the place where my heart broke. Now it's the place where I healed, Nora smiled, looking out over the garden. And you didn't just rebuild a house. You rebuilt your life, your strength, your spirit. I nodded, taking a deep breath of the fresh air. I lost everything once. My trust, my love, my illusions, but I gained myself, and nothing feels better than that. You deserve this, she said softly. Every moment, every brick, every sunrise, here is yours. I ran my hand over the porch railing, feeling the grain of the wood beneath my fingers. I never thought I'd feel gratitude for betrayal, I admitted, voice low but steady. But it taught me who I am, what I'm capable of, how far I can rise. You've risen higher than most, Nora said, and you've done it quietly, without hurting anyone else. That's the true victory. I looked at her eyes, reflecting the golden light of the sun through the clouds. I suppose it is, I said. In this house, it's my reminder. Not of pain, but of resilience. Not of loss, but of strength. She smiled, taking my hand gently. You built more than walls here. You built yourself. I nodded slowly, letting the warmth of her words sink in. I guess I finally understand. Healing isn't about erasing the past. It's about using it to grow, to rebuild, to become whole. We stood in silence for a moment, listening to the soft patter of rain on the roof, feeling the calm settle over us. I lost everything once, I whispered, but I gained myself, and that's worth everything. Nora squeezed my hand gently. Welcome home. I smiled faintly, closing my eyes. The house no longer felt heavy with memories of pain. It was alive with my choices, my victories, my quiet triumphs. And for the first time in years, I felt at peace. I had built more than a house. I had built a life, my life.